welcome to the new OGDuffy video. This week we've got a comparison video, okay? It's the classic Spectrum versus the Commodore 64, and we're comparing them to a coin-op classic. Now, coin-ops used to get brilliant games. Obviously, you go to the arcade as a youngster and you'd love seeing them all in their bloody lovely goodness, goldness, great sounds and colours, etc. And then they'd release them on your home computer systems, and they never quite lived up to what you expected or experienced in the arcades. So we're going to look at some and compare the Spectrum versions and the Commodore 64 versions. And this week we are taking a look at the very fine shooter that was by Capcom 1942. So this was it. This was 1942 by Capcom. It was a great shoot 'em up. Made a change to your sort of usual space alien type shoot 'em ups we were used to at the time. Incorporated some great effects as well in relation to like your power ups and things, although basic was still very, very good. Also introduced sort of a roll system, so there's another button you could press that allowed your plane to roll to avoid bullets and stuff. On a personal note, never really did it for me. This game did also feature in my all-time top 10 of 80s arcade classics, which you can see there. There's a link to it on my channel if you fancy having a look at that. But what was strange about this was it was set in the Pacific in World War II, and it was based roughly on the Battle of Midway. And basically you have to make your way through and reach Tokyo in the end to destroy the Japanese air fleet. What I found odd was the Japanese developed and made this game, which was quite odd. But hey ho, there you go. Now, as I say, this was a very popular game, and undoubtedly there was no reason why it wouldn't make it to the home systems, which of course we will look at shortly. But it was thoroughly enjoyable, very good all-rounder, and one I thoroughly appreciated and took a lot of time and effort in. If I see it today, I still play it. I think it's a great game. If you've never played it before, do emulate it, look it up, have a go. So that was that. Let me know in the comments if you have memories of this, etc. So let's take a look at the C64 version. So here we go, first things first. See, it's quite colourful in a C64 kind of way. Obviously very interesting. The sound with this is great, as were an awful lot of Commodore 64 games for the day. It scrolled very well, this one. It was nice smooth play, as you can see. And it was quite difficult though, compared to the Specky version, which we'll take a look at shortly. But overall, it was very, very good conversion. It was quite pleasing, this one. Wasn't completely 100% arcade accurate in terms of levels and things, but made up for it in its gameplay. It was very, very good. As I say, although albeit a bit difficult. If I had a negative on this, the levels are very short, as you've just seen there. I mean, that was a whole level done there, and it took no time at all to finish it. Literally, you've got 30-40 seconds, or about a minute, I suppose. But to be fair, about a minute. So the levels were quite short on it. But overall, a very good conversion, and one I was very pleased about. And finally, we'll take a look at the ZX Spectrum. Now, the first positive I have about this was the clean, crisp graphics, as you can see. Very, very good. Typical Specky style, really. Didn't play dissimilar to the obviously arcade version, but bit slower, of course. But there was something cute about this. I did enjoy it. You know, I'm not going to say I didn't, because I did. Sound effects were basic in a Spectrum kind of way, which you'd expect, and obviously no soundtrack and things, which was pretty much the norm for the day. This was released by Elite Software on all the home systems, all the 8-bits, and I can't recall, but I think this was about $7.95, and I can't remember if the Commodore version was the same price or not, or was it a $9.95 for the C64 version, which was quite often the case. Don't know why, they always charged a bit more for C64 games back then. As you can see, It took a bit longer to finish the levels on this, so it was a bit more accurate in relation to sort of the arcade levels compared to the C64. Both very playable, both very enjoyable. So hold out, my verdict is coming. Which ones do you remember? Did you own this on any of the systems? Do you remember playing it on the arcade? I certainly do, and I remember it on both of these great systems from the day. Were you pleased with it? What did you think? And hey, don't be hating on the video if you don't like my verdicts, but it's coming up shortly. But do let me know in the comments, and if you don't already do so, please do subscribe, because hey, makes me happy. Anyway, that was 1942 on the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum. So there we go. You've seen gameplay from both systems from back in the day, and comparing it, of course, to the Coin-Op Arcade Edition. Now, obviously, the Commodore 64 had a far superior sound chip. It handled the colours a lot better than the Spectrum, but there was something cute about the Spectrum graphics on this, and it played very well, as did the Commodore 64. So my verdict on this versus episode, I'm going for Commodore 64. I'm sorry, it just played better. It just seemed to have a lot more going on than the Spectrum version, but the Spectrum version was extremely good as well. So, great effort. Thanks for watching. If you agree, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. And hey, got any suggestions for future ones I should do comparisons to? Let me know in the comments too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. I've been OGDuffy. Laters. If you watch the video and you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe for more great videos. Thanks for watching.